Do you think that getting more sleep will make you more energetic, more happy, more fulfilled, and ready to take on your day? I'm here to tell you that that's not necessarily true. In fact, oversleeping can be very, very detrimental to your health. So, we're going to talk about today how you can get more energy, more get up and go without having to get more sleep all the time. I was really inspired by this book by Dr. Artour Rakhimov. It's called Sleep Better and Less More Naturally. So I like that he really took a natural approach to how we all can get more energy, just feeling better naturally without having to sleep all day long. So most people think that when they're tired, the solution is more sleep. But this research here shows that the longer sleep doesn't always mean that you're going to feel better, more energetic, and more ready for the world. In fact, excessive sleep can make you feel even more tired because it often means that if you're sleeping too much, that the sleep that you get is very, very poor in quality. So I'm going to be going through some notes. I took some great notes while reading this book. I'm going to try to bring you guys some really amazing literature of some of the newest things in sleeping that are really going to make you wonder and think, and really introduce some new, unique ideas to how you're getting good, great rest and still feeling energetic to take on your day. So what really matters according to this book is how much oxygen you're getting and your breathing efficiency. So if you have dysfunctional breathing, and one of the ways you have dysfunctional breathing is breathing out of our mouths a lot instead of our nose. Our nose should be the main way that we're breathing as much as possible. Also, dysfunctional breathing can be if you're breathing too fast, if you're getting hyperventilated, or too deep, or too shallow. Your body will actually get a lot less oxygen on the cellular level. Now, this is serious. So we know in the medium and in the short term, this is very serious because you will wake up after a seemingly, 7 or 8 hours of sleep feeling exhausted, tired. You can experience grogginess, sluggishness. In the long term, this even gets more serious. So now we're looking at you have reduced physical endurance to get through your day. If you want to exercise, if you run a busy lifestyle, you just won't have the energy and the endurance to really embrace that without the cellular oxygenation. You could also experience poor circulation, where your hands are cold all the time, your arms are cold all the time. This is because the low oxygen will actually tighten the blood vessels, constricting them, so oxygen won't be able to flow as freely. The most serious is definitely serious chronic diseases, either oncologic issues, stroke issues, issues with people who have high blood pressure, heart issues. So it's so important for us to be really maximizing our breathing the best that we can and really getting really great oxygen on a cellular level. It's not only going to affect our sleep, but it's also going to help our overall health, not to mention mental health as well. We know right now mental health is on just a really high, probably some of the highest we've seen in an industrial civilization, where people are really suffering, going through a lot of mental health issues right now. These issues definitely can be helped to really reduced and alleviated if we're getting proper oxygen to our brain and our entire cellular system. So I'm going to break down 5 steps that he recommends on how you can sleep less but feel better. Number 1 is you have to switch as much as possible to nasal breathing. Now, there is a place if you're doing some breath work and meditations where you will breathe out the mouth. But for the purpose of this video and getting the best sleep as possible and actually possibly reducing the amount of sleep that you need on a daily basis, you want to focus on nasal breathing as much as possible. So that's just breathing in and out of your nose without using your mouth. So that's number 1. You want to practice slow breathing before bed. So there's various exercises he gives in the book. One of them is a where you actually go to bed breathing heavily, and then you calm yourself down so that you're not in this stress state. Most of the people I help who have stress-induced insomnia, they're finding that their minds are racing like crazy before they go to bed. And they don't have that power down hour that they need to get the rest and relaxation that they need. So doing the deep breathing exercises before bed is so, so important. Your ability, his focus is really, when he talks about curing chronic insomnia and boosting your brain and O2 levels, he really is focusing on your CO2, your carbon dioxide, and your ability to retain that and use that. So breathing through your nose during the day and practicing light breaths, even while you're exercising, is going to help you to retain that CO2, and it's going to efficiently get that O2, that oxygen, to your cells. Now, one thing he recommends that I am not a fan of, and that is taping your lips. I'm probably going to do an entire video on this at some point because I get a lot of questions from people who are like, oh, what if I just tape my lips? Will that help me to breathe? Taping your lips at nighttime when you go to sleep is not for everyone. If you have issues with asthma, COPD, any type of airway obstruction, you do not want to tape your mouth when you go to bed. If you're a person that has any type of history of having anxiety or panic attacks, sometimes feeling your mouth taped closed can actually exacerbate those conditions. If you're a person who is sensitive, your skin is sensitive, we really don't know what type of adhesive and the chemicals that are going into this adhesive. Once again, we are under a chemical assault here. So we don't want to add more chemicals from this tape. We have no idea what's going in there. The packages of the tape really don't tell us that information. So you could have actually experienced allergic reactions, skin irritations, and be absorbing dangerous chemicals, and you not even be aware of it. I've personally tried this. This is why I don't recommend it. It was during cough and cold season, and one of my nostrils became stuffed up during night. And this is something that can happen quite frequently to people in general, where you can wake up with a stuffy nose. Having that backup airway, your mouth, is pivotal. I need all of my airways open and on board to take in the oxygen as I need it. Although I know mouth breathing isn't recommended, if I have a stuffy nose and I need to do that, I'm very, very appreciative of that backup system to really get that oxygen in until my nose becomes clear again. So at some point, I'm going to do a whole video on really staying away from taping your mouth. Don't do it. Number 2, he talks about optimizing your sleep environment. So once again, his whole premise is really optimizing how you're breathing. So we're looking at everything in your bedroom in terms of the breath. So if we have a pillow that we haven't washed in years, if we have sheets that haven't been washed in weeks or months, that is affecting our air quality in our room. So definitely regular laundering of our sheets, our comforter, pillow, even wiping our mattresses down, our headboards, keeping those all dust free so that when we breathe at night, we're not breathing in all of the really debris that's coming off of potentially dirty sheets, pillows, comforters. He also mentioned that he really didn't like people sleeping with carpeted rooms. So I know this is something we all do. I know I have a carpeted room for sleep. So many people do. So my recommendation, carpet actually does hold a lot of debris, a lot of dust, dander, just a lot of dirt. So you want to keep your carpets clean, daily vacuuming, weekly vacuuming, actually using some of the services that actually will come and clean your carpets and do deep extractions for you. Hopefully they're using eco-friendly materials because we don't need another issue or problem. So definitely using eco-friendly materials to really keep those carpets consistently clean is important. And I know this can be something funny. Those of us who live in the north, whether it's Northern Europe, USA, where it gets really, really cold, he recommends that no matter how cold it is, that you keep some airflow going through that room. So some of the older homes may just have like a natural draft going through, which is good. Some newer construction is very, very airtight. So that's something we need to look at. Keeping a window slightly cracked, and I know I can hear you now if you're like, oh, it's below zero. Just the slightest crack will kind of keep that airflow going. Fans will keep that airflow going in your room as well. One of the things he didn't recommend in this book, but I think would be a great, great idea, is to have an air purifier. I've worked with clients who lived in various climates that were highly, highly polluted. They found that working with an air purifier helped them to get much, much better sleep every night. So that was step 2, really watching the environment of your room, keeping it clean, free of dust, dander, anything that's really hindering you from getting a good night's sleep and really compromising your air quality. Number 3 is he goes more into depth of the breathing exercises. So there's a nasal reduced breathing exercise where he says, breathe into your nose for 2 to 3 seconds. Then you're going to exhale slowly through your nose for 5 to 7 seconds. Pause for a few seconds, and that's going to help you hold on to a little bit of CO2. And then you're going to do this again. So again, you're going to breathe in for a couple of seconds, breathe out for 5 to 7 seconds, hold that, and then repeat. And so you're going to do this for several minutes before you go to bed. And so this is going to help, once again, help with the nasal reduced breathing. There's also a breathing where he calls the control pause test. And he recommends that you do this in the morning and the night. Measure how long you can comfortably hold your breath after exhaling. The longer your control pause, the better your oxygenation and energy levels. Once again, if you have serious issues with, COPD, asthma, any of those things, sleep apnea, you want to always check with your doctor first, definitely before doing this. Next is shorten your sleep windows. So that was the whole idea of this video. How can you sleep less but feel better? So the first thing he wants you to do is track your sleep efficiently. If you find that you're feeling refreshed after say 6 to 6.5 hours of sleep, you probably don't need that full 8 hours of sleep. Now, most sleep experts recommend that men get anywhere from 6 to 8 hours and women are 8 to 10 hours. I could do a whole nother video on why women need more sleep, but typically we do need more sleep. But this is something you can keep track of in your sleep journal. You can actually keep track of the amount of hours that you are sleeping and how you feel. If you find that, wow, I really feel amazing after 7 hours, you are probably one of those people that does not need the whole 8 to 10 hours to get a good night's sleep. Also, you can start reducing your sleep time by 15 minutes, just to kind of experiment to see where you are with your sleep. So if you're used to getting up, let's say going to bed at, 9:30 p.m., try going to bed at 9:45 for a few days in a row. Once again, in your sleep journal, document this and see how that goes for you and how you're feeling. As you continue doing the exercises through the book, cleaning up your area, getting your air purifier, you should start to see that you don't need as much sleep as you originally thought. But he does want you to use a consistent wake time. So only adjust this when going to sleep, but keep that wake up time consistent. And finally, step 5, he goes into morning energy boosting. So you're going to do morning walking, your morning exercises, whatever you do to kind of get going in the morning. Make sure you're doing nasal breathing. So you're going to do morning nasal walking, morning nasal exercise. There are also light breath drills that he gives. Try exhaling, holding your breath for a few seconds to increase your CO2 tolerance. And this will help you to kind of wake up faster as well in the morning. cold showers and those cooler showers. I tell you, I'm not a big fan of anything really, really cold, but they do perk you up, get you up going. That early morning sunlight sets your circadian rhythm for the remaining of the day. So getting that sunlight, even if it's not sunny, you can still get that morning daylight to get you going for the day. So just a brief recap, his focus in this book is really getting you on board with proper oxygenation to your cells so that you can sleep better and less, all naturally, without any medications, without caffeine. So you want to definitely fix that breathing at night, doing nasal breathing and doing slow before you go to bed. Optimizing that environment. So you have that cool environment, it's dark, and it's clean and free from dust and dander. Using those breathing exercises before bed is extremely helpful, especially for the most of the people I deal with who have that stress-induced insomnia. Start playing with your sleep, keeping that journal, actually gradually decreasing the time and seeing how you feel. You will be the best judge of how much sleep you actually do or don't need. And finally, starting your day with breath work and sunshine. So now I want to hear from all of you who watched this video. Let me know if you think that you need the full 8, 9, 10 hours sleep. How are you feeling when you wake up in the morning? Also, I have some free goodies for you below. Be sure to download. It's a free, totally free PDF that's going to give you amazing, amazing tips to finally get that great night's sleep. This video is actually inspired by the sleep doctor who gave some amazing tips for seniors. I wanted to take that video a bit further. So thank you for watching today, and I'll see you next time.